It's a great organization, great team, great guys, great coaching, and what's not to like about Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh made a stunning call, and Mike Tomlin is ready to answer for it. Asante Samuel Jr. is back sort of. The Steelers signed him to the practice squad after a long recovery, but with so many unanswered questions, is this the game changer Pittsburgh needs? Or is this just another gamble that could derail their playoff hopes?
How long they want to look at you before they put you in?
It's just day by day. I'm trying to maximize every day and do whatever the coach is telling me and just get better every day.
The Steelers signed Asante Samuel Jr. to their practice squad on Wednesday, November 13, 2025, according to ESPN's Jeremy Fowler. The cornerback was recently cleared for football activities following spinal fusion surgery that kept him out of football for 7 months. Samuel entered the 2025 offseason as a top 25 overall free agent in March, but remained unsigned due to the injury that required surgical intervention. Samuel played just 4 games for the Los Angeles Chargers during the 2024 season before landing on injured reserve in Week 6. The Chargers initially described the injury as a shoulder issue. Samuel later revealed the injury was a stinger in both shoulders, but also a condition he had been dealing with since birth. He declined to provide specific details about the condition, but stated he was not concerned it would impact his career moving forward. The spinal fusion surgery took place in April, delaying his signing with any team throughout the offseason and into the regular season. Pittsburgh's medical staff, including neurosurgeon David Okonkwo, played a direct role in the procedure. The connection between Samuel and the Steelers' medical team factored into his decision to sign with Pittsburgh once cleared for football activities. Samuel drew interest from multiple playoff contending teams around the league once his medical clearance became known. The Steelers emerged as the landing spot for the former second-round pick. Though signed to the practice squad, the expectation is that Samuel will be elevated to the 53-man roster in short order given Pittsburgh's secondary needs. The Steelers' secondary has struggled with both injuries and performance issues throughout the 2025 season. Cornerback Darius Slay entered the concussion protocol after an incidental helmet-to-helmet hit with teammate Kyle Duggar during the Week 10 loss to the Chargers' Jalen Ramsey. Once the team's starting slot corner has spent the bulk of the past 2 games at free safety after injuries decimated that position group. Before Samuel's addition, Pittsburgh had just 3 healthy full-time corners entering the Week 11 rematch against Cincinnati: James Pierre, Brandon Echols, and Joey Porter Jr. Echols played in the slot against the Chargers, while Pierre stepped up at outside corner Brandon. Echols surrendered 8 receptions for 125 yards and 1 touchdown against Los Angeles, according to Pro Football Focus, marking his worst performance as a Steeler. Samuel was the Los Angeles Chargers' top cornerback heading into the 2024 season. His 4 games represented the least he had played in any season of his career. The shoulder injury that ended his season occurred ahead of the Chargers' Week 6 game against the Denver Broncos. Los Angeles placed him on injured reserve, and he never returned to the active roster. The Los Angeles Chargers selected Samuel in the 2nd round of the 2021 NFL Draft with the 47th overall pick out of Florida State. He immediately established himself as a starting cornerback, playing in 50 career games with 47 starts over 4 seasons in Los Angeles. Samuel recorded 176 tackles and 6 interceptions during his Chargers tenure. He allowed 154 catches on 259 targets in coverage, according to Pro Football Reference. Samuel's father, Asante Samuel Sr., played 11 seasons in the NFL as a cornerback from 2003 to 2013. The elder Samuel made 4 Pro Bowls and earned 2 All-Pro selections during his career with the New England Patriots, Philadelphia Eagles, and Atlanta Falcons. He recorded 51 career interceptions and returned 2 for touchdowns in Super Bowls. The son has worked to establish his own identity at the position while carrying the family name. The younger Samuel's biggest strength is his elite ball skills and instincts in coverage. He demonstrated this ability most notably in the Chargers' 2022 playoff loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars, when he intercepted quarterback Trevor Lawrence 3 times in the first half. The performance showcased his ability to read quarterbacks and make plays on the ball at critical moments. Samuel's primary weakness is tackling, often taking poor angles on ball carriers and allowing more yards after the catch than expected. His 6-foot, 180-pound frame limits his physicality in run support. Teams have exploited this deficiency by running at him or throwing quick passes to receivers in his coverage area. The Steelers will need to account for this limitation in their defensive scheme. Pittsburgh's secondary has not lived up to expectations through the first 10 weeks of the 2025 season. The unit has failed to produce takeaways in 4 of the last 5 games. The Steelers are just 2-3 in that stretch as they struggle to find complementary football. Darius Slay has been far from a shutdown corner while playing alongside Joey Porter Jr. as the team's primary boundary options. Samuel provides Pittsburgh with a quality corner who has extensive starting experience at the NFL level. He played primarily as an outside cornerback during his time with Los Angeles. With Jalen Ramsey seemingly entrenched at free safety, an opening exists for Samuel to establish himself as a key piece of the defense during the season's final stretch. His familiarity with AFC West offenses could prove valuable as the Steelers navigate their remaining schedule. The Steelers could be relatively healthy as they try to avenge a 33-31 upset loss to Joe Flacco and the Bengals from October. Veteran left guard Isaac Sumalo is expected to practice after sitting out the Chargers game. With a pectoral injury, safety Jabril Peppers may also be available after being inactive against Los Angeles with a quadricep issue. Wide receiver Scotty Miller has been cleared to practice after undergoing finger surgery. Pittsburgh will not have safety Juan Thornhill, who was cut on Monday after head coach Mike Tomlin said the veteran's play wasn't up to snuff. Thornhill began the season as the starting safety next to Deshaun Elliott, but saw his playing time steadily decrease. The Steelers started Kyle Duggar just days after acquiring him in a trade with New England, highlighting the desperation at the safety position. Samuel's signing represents a calculated risk for the Steelers given his lengthy recovery from spinal fusion surgery. The practice squad designation allows Pittsburgh to evaluate his conditioning and readiness without committing a 53-man roster spot immediately. The team can elevate him for game days if his practice performance warrants activation. NFL rules permit teams to elevate practice squad players for games a limited number of times per season. The cornerback market in 2025 free agency saw top players earn approximately $18 million per year on new deals. Samuel's injury prevented him from cashing in during that market cycle. His performance over the final 7 weeks of the 2025 season will determine his value in the 2026 free agency period. A strong finish in Pittsburgh could significantly enhance his earning power next offseason. Samuel turned 26 years old on October 3, 2025, placing him in the prime age range for cornerbacks. Most defensive backs peak between ages 25 and 29 before physical decline sets in. His youth and talent level suggest significant upside if he can remain healthy. The spinal fusion surgery theoretically addressed a long-term structural issue that could improve his durability moving forward. Something's happening in Pittsburgh, and Mike Tomlin just made it clear. After Aaron Rodgers' worst game of the season, everyone expected a benching or a breakdown. Instead, Tomlin dropped a statement that stunned fans, players, and the league. What he said about Rodgers left everyone asking, is this loyalty or denial?
We as an offensive collective were off today, and certainly he's a component of that. I'll let him speak for himself, but we certainly got to be better. Didn't feel like they did anything unanticipated, but certainly they outperformed us, particularly in possession down play.
Mike Tomlin declared that he has no long-term concerns about Aaron Rodgers' ability to play quarterback at a high level, despite the veteran's dismal showing against the Chargers. Sunday night was what it was, Tomlin said, but I have no long-term reservations about his ability to play the position and play the position at a high level for us. The statement represented a firm endorsement of Rodgers, following one of the worst performances of his 21-year career. Rodgers completed just 16 of 31 passes for 161 yards with a touchdown in garbage time and 2 interceptions in the 25-10 defeat at SoFi Stadium on November 9th. One interception smacked off the hands of wide receiver Calvin Austin III. Rodgers was also sacked for a safety when Khalil Mack forced a fumble that the quarterback recovered in his own end zone. The 50.6 passer rating marked the lowest of his first season with Pittsburgh. The performance raised questions about whether the NFL's oldest active player still possesses the physical tools to compete effectively. Rodgers missed a streaking DK Metcalf in the first quarter for what would have been a touchdown, overthrowing the 6'4" wide receiver by approximately 5 yards. His vaunted accuracy abandoned him throughout the night. More concerning was his lack of feel inside the pocket, a skill that has defined his career longevity. Rodgers stumbled trying to escape pressure from Mack in the first quarter, bobbled the ball, and fell on it in the end zone for a safety. "I should have just thrown the ball at someone's feet there," Rodgers stated. After the game, the quarterback admitted he was just a little bit off following the performance. The safety gave Los Angeles a 2-0 lead and set the tone for Pittsburgh's offensive struggles throughout the contest. Tomlin credited the Chargers for getting the better of his offense, but rejected suggestions that the unit has become too predictable. The Steelers have finished with under 300 total yards for 3 straight weeks. Entering the Cincinnati game, Pittsburgh has not topped 300 yards in a game in going on a month. The offensive struggles have coincided with the team's recent slide in the standings. The head coach pointed to an inability to extend drives on third downs as the primary culprit. Pittsburgh has converted just 36% of its third downs on the season. The Steelers have converted only 21% over the last 3 weeks, managing just 7 of 33 third down attempts. Tomlin put the onus on his coaching staff to find ways to make opponents pay for double-teaming Metcalf, who has just 10 catches for 96 yards over the last 3 games. "We haven't done a good enough job of putting others other than DK in position to win and win big, and they haven't won big enough," Tomlin stated. "We've got to do a better job there." The Steelers declined to make a significant trade to upgrade the receiving core behind Metcalf. At the deadline, Pittsburgh opted instead to hold on to significant draft capital. The club did sign 2-time Super Bowl winner Marquez Valdes-Scantling to the practice squad last week. Tomlin did not rule out the possibility of Valdes-Scantling working his way onto the active roster when Cincinnati visits Acrisure Stadium. The Steelers need to create more big plays according to their head coach. Pittsburgh only has a handful of pass receptions that have gone for more than 40 yards this season. All but one of those plays came on receptions where most of the yardage came after the catch.
Guys, like you 0 for 9 or 10 on third down, you're not going to have enough snaps. Like, we've been over that discussion a lot.
In Week 10's Sunday night game, the Pittsburgh Steelers, led by Mike Tomlin, took a tough 25-10 loss to the Los Angeles Chargers. But what happened after the game shocked everyone even more. Coach Tomlin said something about rookie Ladd McConkey that no one expected. The offense struggled to convert, and the Chargers controlled both tempo and territory. Amid that backdrop of frustration and technical failure, Mike Tomlin's post-game comments took on heightened significance. In front of media, he singled out McConkey indirectly with these words. "McConkey caught 4 passes. Certainly that last one was the biggest, but that wasn't the reason we lost this football game," he said. The remark ignited debate among fans who viewed it as a rare public critique of a young player. This shift from broad team accountability to direct individual mention gives the moment its weight. The question becomes, was Tomlin using McConkey's catch as a metaphorical fault line, or was he explicitly eyeing the rookie's role in this collapse? The defensive issues were clear and quantifiable. According to multiple post-game reports, the Steelers converted only 2 of 11 third down opportunities against the Chargers. Pittsburgh's offense mustered just 221 total yards and scored a lone touchdown with less than 3 minutes remaining, effectively garbage time. The defense, meanwhile, allowed multiple long completions and failed to halt momentum when it counted most. Directly enabled Chargers to force 12 missed tackles themselves and rack up yards after contact. That kind of breakdown in fundamental play undermines any attempt to rally. Tomlin addressed the issue bluntly. "You're not going to win football games by not converting third down and losing the turnover battle," he said. "We were certainly loose with the ball on several instances and didn't convert enough third downs. And so that's the end result." The coach's tone turned pointed. It's rare for Tomlin to attach such a direct statistical arc to a post-game evaluation. McConkey's target late in the fourth quarter became the focal point. On a 3rd and 6 with 11 minutes remaining, Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert delivered a precise strike to McConkey that kept the drive alive and extinguished any remaining hope for Pittsburgh. The Yardbarker account noted, "That single perfectly timed throw to McConkey essentially sealed the contest." In the post-game press conference, Tomlin downplayed the significance of the play itself while acknowledging McConkey's role. That wasn't the reason we lost this football game, he emphasized. The apparent duality, acknowledging McConkey's impact but denying the loss hinged on it, struck fans as both unusual and provocative. Tomlin's decision to publicly reference McConkey, a rookie, transitions the narrative from collective failure to an individual underpinning. That kind of explicit mention in a high-stakes primetime game carries layers of meaning in a franchise culture that typically shields younger players. McConkey finished with 4 receptions, including the decisive one, yet Pittsburgh's multi-layered breakdown still rests at root on scheme, execution, and fundamentals. Quarterback Aaron Rodgers joined the Steelers on a 1-year deal worth $13.65 million in June 2025.